All right, actually, this time I get to say good evening. Welcome to the March 16th special EDA meeting at 5 p.m., which I'm calling to order. Jamie, do you want to do the roll call?
I'm over here tonight.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
EDA President Bailey,
Here?
EDA Vice President Dennis,
Here.
EDA Member Knopp,
Here.
EDA Member Myers,
Here.
EDA Member Thewis,
Here.
EDA Member Carey, EDA Member Crone.
All right, thank you. Next is, number 3 is approval of the minutes. 3.1 is the approval of the February 8th, 2022 EDA meeting minutes. If there are no changes or corrections that need to be made, we'll look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the February 8th minutes.
All right, we have a motion by EDA Vice President Dennis. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
I'm sorry, was that Mr. Knopp? Okay. And seconded by EDA Member Knopp. Any further discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. So now we'll move on to business items. 4.1 is economic development update and business inquiry, and our City Administrator Jennifer Lovett will take us through this.
Well, thank you, Mayor and members of the EDA. As we always talk about the Beige Book, just a few things to point out for you this evening. To just highlight for you, employment grew moderately, but was constrained by the tight labor market availability. There are still obviously price pressures remaining strong, particularly for inputs. Labor supplies continue to remain tight. Consumer spending grew moderately. And we continue to see commercial construction grow, while residential construction was flat. I always like to say they must not be in Cottage Grove because our residential market is not flat. Commercial real estate, looking at the inventory continued to remain very low. Industrial space continued to see a strong demand, as we'll obviously see tonight as we look at our projects that are before you, and manufacturing activity increased moderately as well. A few updates for you. North Star Sheets, their project has been complete. Obviously, when they look at some of their painting and stuff that has to occur, they have to wait for warmer weather for that, but you'll see that taking place. Oakwood Park, I always like to provide a little bit of update on our park elements. This project we have now taken as far as we can until the ground thaws here in Minnesota, so we'll start to see that park building take shape here with more of the interior finishes as spring approaches. I just wanted to mention the shops at Cottage View. We are waiting for the president to sign the bill, but we believe we've got an earmark of about $3 million for this project, which would help fund a very necessary project for a gateway into our community. And so just something to highlight there that you may be seeing in the news soon. Also, just wanted to highlight for you that we've been working really aggressively in regards to the 100th Street extension, which is from Jamaica Avenue over to Highway 61, which is outlined along the bottom of the screen, as we would look to put a 4-lane bridge section over CP Rail here. It does provide some different opportunities for development, both industrially and some additional retail opportunity at the corner. And so we are working with a lobbyist currently and working on a number of solicitations for both federal dollars, state dollars, and also we have some bonding requests into the state. And so really exciting times for us as we start to see a lot of growth potential in our business park. When we look at some of the other growth potential, everybody wants to grow restaurants in Cottage Grove, and Pizza Ranch is on the City Council agenda tonight. So I'm not going to say one way or another, but I'll just tell you it is on the council agenda tonight. So watch Facebook after that meeting. Renewal by Anderson is on council tonight as well. They're looking to expand their building for a 330,000 square foot building addition with additional parking for their trucks to the far western edge of their property. The Planning Commission did approve that, and as I mentioned, it's on council tonight. Right now, if all goes well, we'll be closing on this property at the end of the month, and you'll probably start to see construction as soon as the ground thaws. I would be happy to stand for any questions that you have this evening.
EDA members, any questions at all? Looks like we're good. Thank you, Jennifer. All right, next on our agenda, under business items 4.2, which is NorthPoint Phase 1 plan. And Christine Costello is going to walk us through this one.
Good evening,
welcome.
EDA President and members of the EDA. It's nice to see you. So to begin tonight,
Cottage Grove Logistics Parks. It's kind of interesting for this to come back to you as the EDA. So just kind of some background, NorthPoint is based out of Kansas City. The master site plan was approved in December 2021. It's approximately 252 acres, 6 separately owned parcels that they have purchased. There's approval for 9 buildings that will be warehouse, manufacturing, distribution, and office space. It's proposed as a phased development, so there'll be site plan approval for each phase to ensure that it aligns with that master plan that was approved. So in December, the EDA did approve the creation of the TIF district for Cottage Grove Logistics Park. And as part of that, NorthPoint is required to submit to the EDA their proposed phasing plan for each phase. So we are at phase 1. And with phase 1 is the construction of 2 buildings at a total of approximately 700 square feet. NorthPoint will also be completing the public improvements, 100th Street, Ideal, and then the construction of 105th as well. You can see on the site plan, this kind of lays out, so they're gonna start on the far western side and work their way east towards Ideal. So the Planning Commission held their public hearing for Phase 1 on February 28th and did recommend approval of Phase 1. They're meeting all the requirements of that master plan in terms of landscaping, sound wall, lighting. They've addressed concerns that they've heard at previous neighborhood meetings. So this will now come before the City Council at the April 6th meeting. So before you is the recommendation for a motion to ensure that you will see the Phase 1, you will see Phase 2, 3, and 4 also come before you as the EDA to ensure that it's in keeping with that master plan as well. So with that, I'll take questions.
All right, any questions for EDA, Community Development Director? I'm trying to get you, sorry. Sorry, Gretchen. Well, we switch all these chairs around, you know.
Just like to keep you guessing.
Yeah, there you go. Any questions for Christine? I know you're here. Did you fly all this way? You want to make any comments at all to the EDA? You're welcome to if you want to come on up.
Go ahead. I'll join you.
Good evening. Christina Hubasek with NorthPoint, joined by...
Mark Mullitzer with NorthPoint as well.
We don't have much to say other than we're really excited to begin this first phase of construction. If all goes well, we will be breaking ground the spring of this year. So construction is exciting. We've seen a lot of tenant activity, no leases signed to date, but we do have some significant RFPs that we have seen. So we're really excited to just begin this first phase and get the construction out of the ground and the roads re-improved in this area.
We have made a notice to proceed to both R.J. Ryan for the construction of the on-site buildings and R.L. Larson for the road improvements. We will focus on 105th Street first, once we get the Julian parcel sale contract executed. And then we will follow with 100th Street improvements and then Ideal after that. There's some private utilities that need to be relocated, and we're working with those groups prior to the 100th Street expansion. But we're excited, and so are all the contractors to start once ground thaw. So.
Fantastic, thank you. Any questions for these guys at all?
No, just a comment. I drive down Ideal 5 times a day. I just live right back tucked by the water there, so I'll be seeing all that start happening soon.
Yeah, it's going to be
Did make a
exciting.
comment to the contractors to keep the trucks off Ideal on your behalf.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. No, we got water last year, and
Yep.
so it's all coming fast.
Yeah, it is, it is. All right, well, thank you again. Oh, did you have something else you want to add?
I'm just going to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for investing in our community. So EDA, if somebody wants to make the motion that's on the screen before us, if there's no other questions.
Mayor, I'll be happy to make the motion to approve Phase 1 of the master plan for the Cottage Grove Logistics Park, which consists of the construction of 2 buildings with approximately 700,000 square feet.
All right, so I have a motion by EDA member Vice President Dennis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Thews? Yep, so seconded by EDA member Thews. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll see you in April, I think. Are you going to be here at that one? All right, there you go. All right, and then 4.3 is an added item for this evening. It was Airgas temporary construction easement, and Jennifer, you're going to take us through this one.
Yes, this evening we have an Airgas easement amendment. Previously, the EDA had approved 2 easement areas, one to the north of Airgas in the area that's highlighted here, and one to the west side of their property that was located on this side here. Now, as part of that, in 2019, when Airgas was constructing its new facility, it did request this for the construction staging. Now, a thing called COVID happened, and obviously some of their supplies were delayed and they had some construction delays. So they ended up using these 2 temporary laydown areas for construction longer than they had anticipated. And so unfortunately, they weren't able to actually get the restoration requirements all completed prior to snowfall this year. And so their lease has expired. As I mentioned, they weren't able to get that restoration done. Both parties, WAG and Airgas, have agreed to extend the lease to allow them time to do the restoration in the spring. And you may be saying, well, I thought we had a buyer for Jamaica and 100th. And so yes, Ryan Companies is aware that we are extending this lease to enable them to remove the materials from the site. And then also, as you saw in the easement, there is financial compensation to us for the extension of that lease that was not originally anticipated. So tonight before you, we're just asking for authorization to execute that temporary construction easement amendment with WAG Farms, and then also to execute that temporary construction easement amendment with Airgas, subject to any modifications by the city attorney, because obviously attorneys always have some other wordsmithing that they might want to do, and so that's just the provision there if Airgas's attorney has any final comments on them.
All right, sounds good. Pretty self-explanatory for EDA, unless there's any questions.
I can take the first motion.
There, go ahead.
All right. I'd like to motion the EDA president and city administrator to execute the temporary construction easement amendment with WAG Farms.
All right, so we have a motion by EDA member Myers. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Second by EDA member Knapp. So any further discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and who would like to do number 2?
I'll take this one.
You want to do it?
Motion to authorize EDA President and City Administrator to execute the temporary construction easement amendment with Airgas, subject to minor modifications with the City Attorney.
All right, so we have a motion by EDA member Thews. Do I have any other second motions?
I'll second the motion.
There you go. You said that kind of weird, but okay, second by Mr. Myers, EDA member Myers. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jennifer. 5 is public hearings. We have none this evening. 6 is other business. EDA calendars, I believe you guys got your calendars in front of you. Only thing I'd mention is don't forget to check out the fish fry at River Oaks. It's really good. We were there last week, so it is good. And then EDA comments. Any comments for the EDA at this point?
No, the other thing I just want to say a shout out to is April 30th, we got the Cottage Grove Area Chamber of Commerce Community Showcase coming up at Park. So
Yep.
that date is locked, and excited to be bringing that back to the community this year.
Yeah, and I believe it's 10 to 2?
Yes.
10 to 2, and that's at the field house up at Park High School. So, yeah, great opportunity. I know this will be there, obviously, from a city standpoint, but I know the public really enjoys that, so that'll be pretty nice. All right. Any other comments? There was no previous comments, I believe, for the EDA. There is no workshop this evening, so I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, so we have a motion by EDA member Theus. Do I have a second? Second by EDA Vice President Dennis. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned.